In today's class, we're going to learn numbers in Spanish, specifically the cardinal numbers. After today's class, you won't just be able to count from 1 to 10 in Spanish, but from 1 to 100, 1 to 1,000, even 1 to 1 trillion if you want to. Don't go away. Hola, and welcome to Spanish with El Güero. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, well, subscribe so that you don't miss any more classes. As I said, in today's class, we're going to learn the cardinal numbers in Spanish. The cardinal numbers are just the normal numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are the cardinal numbers. In another class, we'll learn the sequential numbers, which are first, second, third, fourth, etc. So, let's start with 1 to 10 in Spanish. Uno, 1. Uno. Uno can be masculine or feminine. But when it's masculine, we take off the O and it's just un. So, one piano is un piano. It is not uno piano. It is un piano. But one trumpet would be una trompeta. Una trompeta. So for the masculine nouns, we say un, and for the feminine nouns, we say una. But then when do we say uno? We say uno only when it does not accompany a noun. So if somebody asks me, how many pianos do you have? ¿Cuántos pianos tienes? I would say, tengo uno. I have one. Tengo uno. Since I didn't mention the word piano afterwards, I say uno. But if I mention the word piano, then I just say un. Un piano. Tengo un piano. I have one piano. Tengo uno. I have one. So, the number 1 has 3 forms. For masculine nouns that are mentioned, un. For masculine nouns that are not mentioned, uno. And for feminine nouns, una. For feminine nouns, it doesn't matter if you mention it or not. It's una. That's how the number 1 works in Spanish. It's a little bit more complicated than the rest. The rest of the numbers from 1 to 10 are dos. 2, dos. 3, 3, tres. 4, 4, cuatro. 5, 5, cinco. 6, 6, seis. 7, 7, siete. 8, 8. 8, 9, 9, nueve. 10, 10, diez. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Remember to pronounce the letters with a Spanish pronunciation and not an English pronunciation. You must roll your R's for tres and cuatro. You must pronounce the E and the I in seis. It is not ses. It is seis, seis. You must pronounce just one vowel sound when you pronounce the O's in ocho. It is not ocho. It is ocho. It's just O and not O. Ocho. It's the same for the number 2. Dos. It is not dos. It is dos. The V in nueve is pronounced like a B in English. It is not nueve. It is nueve. Nueve. And the Z in diez is pronounced like an S. Remember, the English Z sound does not exist in Spanish. So there is no such thing as diez. It is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, what about the number 11 through the teens? Well, here we go. 11, 11, 11. 12, 12, 12. 13, 13, 13. 14, 14, 14. 15, 15, 15. Once again, remember to pronounce all of the letters with a Spanish pronunciation. 16, 16. 17, 17. 18, 18. 19, 19. You're literally saying 10 and 6, 10 and 7, 10 and 8, 10 and 9. 16, 17, 18, 19. So from 11 to 19, we have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So now you know how to count from 1 to 19 in Spanish. But what about the larger numbers? What about the multiples of 10? 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Well, in Spanish, it goes like this. 20, 20, 20. Remember that the V is pronounced like a B in English, and that you must pronounce the E and the I. It is not 20, it is 20, 20. 30, 30, 30. You must roll your R and you must pronounce the E and the I. It is not 30, it is 30. 40, 40, 40. 50, 50, 50. 60, 60, 60. 70, 70, 70. The only difference between 60 and 70 is that 60 has an S and 70 has a T. 60, 60, 70, 70. 80, 80, 80. 90, 90, 90. So we have 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So now you know the multiples of 10, but how do we say the numbers in between, like 21, 35, 57? Well, it's simple. You just add E, which means and in Spanish, and then the number. So for example, 31 is 31. But normally you say it fast, 31. 43, 43, or 43. 55, 55, 55. 62, 62, 62. 78, 78, 78. 84, 84, 84. 99, 99, 99. It's as simple as that. Now, the numbers between 21 and 29 are a little bit different. Because when it comes to the 20s, we take the E off of the end of 20, and we change the E, or the and, to an I, and then we add the number. But we make it all one word. So 21 is 21. 22, 22. 23, 23. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. The 20s are the only ones with which we do this. All of the numbers between 31 and 99 are not like this. It is not just one word. We use the multiple of 10 and then E and then the other number, 3 separate words. Only in the 20s do we make them all one word. So now you know how to count from 1 to 99 in Spanish. But what about 100 and the larger numbers that come after? Well, 100 is just cien. Cien, that's it. You do not say un cien. It's just cien. That one number, cien, means 100. But then how do I say 200, 300, 400, etc.? Well, it's pretty simple. You just say the number and then cientos, doscientos, 200, doscientos, trescientos, 300, trescientos, cuatrocientos, 400, cuatrocientos. In this case, once again, we make them one word. Doscientos, trescientos, cuatrocientos. Now, I don't know if you noticed, when it's just 100, we say cien. We don't say ciento. We just say cien. But when it's more than 100, we say cientos. Doscientos, trescientos, cuatrocientos. Now, 500 is irregular. You don't say cincucientos. No, you say quinientos. 500, quinientos. 600, 600, 600. 700 is also irregular. You don't say sietecientos. You say setecientos. You take out the I. Setecientos, 700, setecientos. 800, 800, ochocientos. 900 is also irregular. It is not nuevecientos, it is novecientos. Novecientos, 900, novecientos. So we have cien, doscientos, trescientos, cuatrocientos, quinientos, 600, 700, 800, 900. But what about the numbers between the multiples of 100? It's very easy. We just add the number. You don't even say E between them. So for example, 101 is 101. Remember, I said that you only say cien when it's just 100, and even 100, cien. Anything above that, you say ciento, and then the number, 101, 101, 102, 102, 110, 110, 125, 125, 188, 188. Now, anything from 200 and above, instead of ciento, we say cientos, as you have already seen, because they are multiples of 100. They are plural. It's not 100, it's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, etc., 100. And so they are plural. Cientos, doscientos, trescientos, cuatrocientos. So for example, 209, 209. 213, 213. 247, 247. 395, 395. 528, 528. 743, 743. 999, 999. You get the idea. And so now you know how to count from 1 to 999 in Spanish. But what about 1,000? In Spanish, 1,000 is mil. Mil, 1,000. Just like with 100, you do not say one. You don't say un mil. No, you just say mi. Mi, that one word, means 1,000. And for the multiples of 1,000, you just add the number before it. It's very simple. 2,000, 2,000, 3,000, 3,000, 4,000, 4,000, 5,000, 5,000, 6,000, 6,000, 7,000, 7,000, 8,000, 8,000, 9,000, 9,000. There are no irregulars, and you do not pluralize the word mil even when you're referring to more than 1,000. But what about the numbers between the multiples of 1,000? You do exactly the same thing that you do with the hundreds. You just add the other numbers without saying y. 1,323, 1,323, 4,678, 4,678, 8,565, 8,565, 9,999, 9,999. Now you know how to count from 1 to 9,999 in Spanish. Now, from 10,000 all the way up to 900,000, we just say the number and mil. 10,000, 10,000, 20,000, 20,000, 100,000, 100,000, 500,000, 500,000, 900,000, 900,000. And of course, for all the numbers between, we just add those numbers. We do not say y. So now you know how to count from 1 to 999,999 in Spanish. But what about 1 million? 1 million in Spanish is un millón. Un millón. 2 million, 2 millones. You must make it plural because there are two of them. It's not just 1 million, it's 2 million. So 1 million is un millón, but 2 million is 2 millones, 3 millones, 4 millones, 5 millones, etc. And once again, for all the numbers in between, you just add that number without an e. But what about 1 billion? Well, this is where it's a little bit different. Because in Spanish, to say 1 billion, you just say mil millones. Literally, 1,000 millions. Mil millones. So 2 billion is 2,000 millones. 3 billion, 3,000 millones. 9 billion, 9,000 millones. In Spanish, the word billion exists, un billón, but it doesn't mean a billion. It means a trillion. In Spanish, if a word has 9 zeros, it is mil millones, not un billón. To be un billón, it must have 12 zeros. So billón in Spanish is the equivalent of trillion in English, not billion. 1 billion, mil millones. 1 trillion, un billón. And with that, now you know how to count from 1 to 1 trillion in Spanish. And that's our class for today. I hope you enjoyed this class and that it was useful for you. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, well, subscribe so that you don't miss any more classes. And here are a couple other videos that could be useful for you. See you next time.